Hello friends, today I'm going to show you an example of accepting dynamic table rows with text box input into controller action and save them to two tables in .NET Core. How is that? Well, if you have a look at this one here, so this is the output that I have, and then we take in two rows here that are dynamically raised. We add them up, and then I put them into a list. And if you look at my database here, so I don't have here more than three rows. Now I should have three more rows on the first table and three rows in the second table. Got it? Perfect. Okay, so here, three rows that were newly added, and then corresponding rows in the second table. That is, with these student IDs, I have their classes as well. Okay, so how do we do that? Let's go ahead to the program. This is a little bit of relation in to the previous video that we have, wherein we are adding table rows exceptionally to just one table. So it was how we took that data from the UI to the database by adding the rows into the single table. Now we are doing this for two tables. For example, you have a join and you want to put the data one into the first table and the remaining data into the second table. How would you do that? So in this case, let's just remove them and then try it once again. So first of all, if I remove these three and the corresponding rows from the join table, okay, sure. I just removed the foreign key because it was not allowing me to delete records. Alright, so here now we will have only those first three rows. So what we did here is, so here is a list and we are trying to add one record. Okay, so with using jQuery, I added another row and then filled it with the data. And using another row, we will use fill up three rows from here. When we are putting in the add new list, that is using our jQuery AJAX. If you look at this here, so I have uh this AJAX and yeah, so we are dynamically creating rows with this AJAX call with this jQuery, and then yeah, changing the button colors to red. If we remove that, the remove function is running here. That will remove the row. And then if we click on the add new list, that's going to send those data into the controller action. How is that? Well, we will run a for loop with I equals to 0 and a counter that will yeah, the counter is counting at the number of rows that were added. So I have this counter plus plus. Each time it's doing an add more, it's putting the counter to +1. And now according to the row counter, we will initialize all the data into the JSON array. Remember this, we have a JSON array. Okay, we have one array and we have a JSON array. So this row data, this is a general array. Sorry, I'm using row data 1. So row data is of no use. And what else is of no use? If you yeah, we don't need this one as well. We don't need this one as well. So a couple of things we don't need, I was just doing for the testing purpose. So here, when I click on the add new list, what is that doing? With a for loop, it's initializing these variables and then it's checking if there is undefined. What is this undefined? Like it will see if there is a blank row, it will not insert that. It will not insert that. It will release that. Okay. And if it has values, then it will go ahead and push those things into the general array. First of all, it will initialize the JSON array, then it will keep the values inside JSON array, then it will push that JSON array into the array. Now after doing that, we have to send that using an AJAX call. So here's my AJAX function, send data. So I'm passing the array into the function, and then initializing the normal values, the second table values. Like I have an id, that's like matching the model class, but we don't need this id actually. This class id is required, then students is having the table data, and notes is just anything. So you can release that. Well, because I had that in my action method, in my model class, that's why I needed that, but otherwise it's of no use. Okay, so in the view model, I'm using the view model. Okay, so these are the things I need to provide some data in order to access them if I pass that model object inside the parameter. Okay, so I'm accepting these values inside the object parameter, and then have a blank array which is having the count, like how many rows are there inside the students, and then according to that it will create a loop. Okay, a for each loop, and it will run that. So after filling up the array, it will run another loop that will send the second set of data to the second table, and after that it will process the request. So it was pretty much this much about this logic. And if you want to look at this project, so this is generally a .NET 6 project with an application DB context where I'm initializing the tables. This has a program.cs where we're initializing the DB context, and this has an app settings.json where I have my connection string. And you just generally know what all what is that, the NuGets that we need to install, that's listed here. These are all the NuGets that we have installed for this program. And I have this controller section which is only running this post request to process. What is that? Am I looking at the right one? Okay, yeah. Okay, so yeah, so looking at this one, so yeah, so this is the loops that we have to run this program and the logic behind this program. And the view mod classes here, the student class, that is this one, not this one. This is for all the students, and I'm using a view model to accept these things from the um, JSON, from the front end, from the HTML. And this is my student class. Okay, and you already have a look at my tables. So I'm going to share this code for the GitHub link on my description, and you should have a good idea of what all things we are talking about and what's the program status. um, so that was all about this video. I hope you understood and enjoyed what we did here. um, until we have our next set of videos, we'll have a few more information coming in. Until then, stay tuned, stay connected, and happy coding. Thank you.